Hello everybody, welcome to the CarlosX360 channel. Today we're going to do a review of Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I hope you enjoyed the clips that are on the channel already. They are basically teasers, so I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. So, this is the review. So we're gonna go ahead. Sega conceived Shinobi in 1987 as an arcade game. From there, Sega converted Shinobi into many different iterations, many different versions of the original arcade game. It's in a in a similar fashion to Ninja Gaiden. Shinobi has been ported to many platforms, including their own console, the Sega Master System. Other platforms are Commodore 64, Amiga, Atari ST, Amstrad, CPC, I don't know what that is, but hey. ZX Spectrum, MSX, IBM PC, PC Engine, Nintendo Entertainment System, and later ported to Nintendo Wii via Virtual Console. Microsoft's Xbox 360 via Xbox Live Arcade, and Nintendo Switch under Sega Aegis label. Shinobi has multiple names under the franchise banner. One of them is Shadow Dancer, which also has been ported to many platforms. Shadow Dancer is the sequel to the original Shinobi, believe it or not. The highlight of the franchise came as soon as Sega Genesis was released. According to Noriyoshi Obaha, The Revenge of Shinobi was a technical showcase for Sega Genesis. The game would go on to be the base model for licensed games that succeeded The Revenge of Shinobi. So all the licensed Spider-Man games on Genesis based off of Shinobi. If you looked at the Wikipedia entry for the game, you'll know this. Every single licensed Spider-Man, Batman, or similar Marvel games by Sega themselves are based around Shinobi. The next game became a masterpiece, and most people agree on this. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, was the real technical showcase for Sega Genesis. I played both The Revenge of Shinobi and Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. I would argue that Shinobi 3 is the masterpiece game on Genesis. Many Genesis fans agree on this. Not all of them, but many of them. Okay? Sega released Shinobi Legions for Saturn in 1995. In 2002, Sega attempted a reboot of Shinobi as simply that, Shinobi. Nightshade, which is a Shinobi game, was released for PlayStation 2 in 2003. On August 26, 2025, Sega released Shinobi Art of Vengeance for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and PC. In today's review, I am going to assume that you are a first-time Shinobi player and you have played or you have played a Metroidvania game before for reasons I will explain later. I will also assume you are somewhat of a casual. Gameplay. For the entry-level casual, Shinobi is an action game. You are a ninja. You are a mysterious Shinobi, which in Japanese language is known as ninja. You progress through Shinobi Art of Vengeance by defeating enemies on screen. However, it is not a linear action game. This is where I talk to the general public, which include the folks that have played the games since the series' inception, or at least played a game in the Shinobi series. I will also talk to hardcore gamers when I say this. Most of the game is linear, as in you go from A to B if you want to complete the main story. However, it is not completely linear because there are secrets in the game. Most hardcore gamers understand what this is. This is basically a semi-Metroidvania. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is a genre coined by two games: Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid. Hence, Metroid, Castlevania. Metroidvania. Okay? Both games allowed you to progress in a linear path, but both games have branching paths. In these branching paths, you are able to upgrade your characters, gain abilities. These upgrades and abilities unlock secrets, unlock new locations, unlocked previously inaccessible locations. When you progress in Shinobi Art of Vengeance, you earn new abilities over time. With these abilities, you get to unlock locations that were previously inaccessible. Joe Masashi, whom you control in-game, can attain strong powers during the game. You gain these powers via gears like amulets. These gears are practically loadouts for your character. Controls. The controls are basic for an action game, but there is an art to the controls than it meets the eye. I'll talk more about controls under the graphics section because they interchange how it affects each other. For the most part, controls are simple, yet difficult to understand or to control. Each attack, each jump, each move, each button brings a sophistication to it. For the casual, you can watch through Shinobi Art of Vengeance without any issue, bar any difficult spots. That is without going Metroidvania. If you simply go from A to B without secrets, the game is kind of easy. The only hard parts are the bosses and the intricate level designs. I'll talk about intricate level designs in the difficulty section because there are levels to it. Controls are basic, but it also has a learning curve as you progress. If you're linear in the game, going for the storyline, you'll think this is a basic action game. But if you chain all the moves together and you learn the moves, you can actually progress faster and do more difficult spots in the game. For the hardcore, I would say Shinobi Arts of Vengeance has a little bit of a Souls feel to it. For those of you who don't know what a Souls game is, it's games that punishes you for taking an attack. Some enemies or boss encounters do subtract life or energy in large quantity. One hit from some bosses will subtract close to 30% of your health, for example. Later bosses take more. They want you to learn the patterns. Graphics is both a low point and a high point of the game. The game is beautiful. Most of the game is designed like a painting in a video game. Lizard Cube, the developers behind Shinobi Art of Vengeance, is the same developers behind Streets of Rage 4, Sega tasked Lizard Cube to reinvent Shinobi as Sega brings back dormant franchises in effort to revitalize the Sega brand. And they're successful at it. While the game is beautiful, the drawbacks are obvious from the get-go. Each move, each animation are beautiful, but slow. By saying slow, I'm not going to gain any favors from Sega or Lizard Cube. However, I have to call it like what it is. Don't get me wrong, I love the art and the design. I love the graphics, but the biggest weakness, and it's what I alluded in the controls section, the biggest issue is the execution of each move. To execute some moves, it moves slow, but some moves move faster. Taking damage is worse in this aspect. Once you get attacked, you're frozen for a second or two. The director of Shinobi Art of Vengeance is Ben Faquet. He is also the artist on the game. Most 2D games are pixel art. Here, with Shinobi Art of Vengeance, each stage location are designed as if it was taken out of a painting. At the same time, modernizing 2D graphics. I don't know how to explain it. It's not entirely painting, but your peripheral understands that it's a painting. However, some parts feel like a drawing in some places. I've embedded some videos to aid my point. I'll have gameplay at the end of this video so you can see what I'm talking about. However, the Shinobi character is in full HD, full 60 frames per second. Ink. Yeah, the ink. However, there are drawbacks to each animation. This won't matter in the first few stages, but later stages you will have to use each move in the right way. You will even have to time each move when you attack enemies. The hitboxes are a bit weird. Normally your attack hitboxes are at the edge of a weapon, like a sword. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but when I say this, but the hitboxes are not at the edge of the sword swipe or attack. They are inside the flame that follows the sword. They designed it this way for a reason, because the later attacks have fire. When you start the game, your swipes are red flames. When you jump, you have a certain jump distance. And so if you miss a spot, you will fall to blades, lasers, or whatever hazard await you. This is worse when you chain moves. I don't know how I explain it in words. You'd have to play the game to really understand what I mean. Music and sound. Besides the graphics, music and sound is the highlight of the game. I'll show you the video in a minute. The sounds in Shinobi Art of Vengeance are clear, punchy, and aligns with what's going on screen. Music is incredible. From the minute you start playing Shinobi Art of Vengeance, you are gripped from the get-go. The music goes with the theme of the stage. For example, when you start the game, you are introduced to the main character, which is Joe Masashi. You are also introduced to Joe's pregnant wife. Disaster hits when you are then introduced to Kunonoshi Naoko. I don't know how to pronounce that. Naoko. You are introduced to the storyline. Ini Corp is in the distance, destroying towns, including Joe's town. In Joe's town lies the Oboro clan. Most of Joe's students have been eliminated. The music transition when you're moving from one spot to the next and blends really well. The tempo ramps up as you progress the stage or stages. In Shinobi Art of Vengeance, you will notice the small details, like the music matches with the stages. One of the stages is straight out of Shinobi 3, for example, and the music is similar. One of the spots is designed in such a way that seems to be pulled straight from a stage in Shinobi 3, and it's the falling rocks. Replay value. I will merge difficulty in this section. The replay value is high for multiple reasons. As I alluded before, Shinobi Art of Vengeance is a semi-Metroidvania. Each stage has branching paths that allow you, the player, to explore the stages. Some spots require a new ability. When you start Shinobi Art of Vengeance, your player character has basic abilities, basic moves, that is until you obtain new abilities like the hook, which that you're able to reach new areas of the stages. When you start Art of Vengeance, you'll see some spots that is inaccessible at the moment. That's the secret. That's a secret at the moment, even though you see the item there. You don't have the ability yet, so you have to go back there with the new ability. That's where the replay value comes in. Not only do you gain new abilities in the world, you also buy abilities or gears as you progress. Each enemy, with each enemy elimination, you get varying items like health and coins. You get to spend these coins on the upgrades. Another area that replay value is high on is the difficulty. The game is for the most part easy, but that doesn't mean there aren't difficult spots, difficult bosses, difficult stages, difficult secrets. The later secrets are brutal. Some stages have branching spots that make it feel like an open world, but these spots are either easy or hard depending on how designers made it. These are medium level spots. There are some medium level difficult spots, but they are far and between. It's either easy or hard. The hardest spots are far away from your peripheral, so you don't get discouraged. But the game does reward you if you go through the challenge. In conclusion, Shinobi Art of Vengeance is a beautiful, albeit semi-Metroidvania. You're able to play the game in a linear fashion or explore the game as you wish. Art of Vengeance encourages you to explore the stages with your newly found upgrades or abilities. Art of Vengeance is a beautiful love letter to both casuals and hardcore players. It is a beautiful love letter to all Shinobi fans. Art of Vengeance aims to take you through their stages with world building and storytelling. You are not just playing a game, you are playing a storyline that is told during the game, and once you finish the stages. The music and sound grips you from the moment you start playing. That'll be all for this review. I'll get with the gameplay next. Enjoy. As you can see, this is Shinobi Art of Vengeance gameplay. As you can see, everything is about to get tougher. It doesn't get easier from here. Because once you get over here, watch what happens. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I was trying to figure out the gameplay from here because once you get there, watch. Watch. See? Crazy. Diabolical. I'm gonna try again and then I'll cut to the other part. Another mistake. I'm telling you, it's not that easy, bro. Another mistake. I made a mistake there, see? I was very nervous when that happened. I almost got it. Oh, almost got it. It was nervous wrecking. Nervous wrecking. Ah. And then I healed myself because that was the last one. The reason why I'm showing this area is because it's really, really gut-wrenching. Another one. Bite the dust. Down, down, yay! I did it! And then once you get there, Lizard Cube throws you another bone. Look at this. Oh.
So, I'll be fine.
As you can see, this is where the game starts, and the reason why I'm using this part of the game is because I want to show you how it starts.
I mean, not me. But if you show me how it's done, I'll be sure to pass it on to the rest so we can do the Oboro clan justice. I'll be waiting at the far end of the field.
As you can see, the game starts. From here, this is where the game gets started. Now, pay attention to the back of the game as I progress. As you can listen, a tutorial here. Story building for you.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Ooh, a pretty flower. Ripe for the picking.
Don't come any closer. Tell me who you are.
Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. comment on the video. Talk about CarlosX360. I'll see you guys later. Stay awesome.